I'm now going to trim the steak as I would for a steak competition. Rule of thumb is you want a steak that has the larger spinalis, and you want to trim it such that you get I like oval shape versus a round shape. You want to trim it so that when you present it in the box, they're going to do a cut across here, which means they're going to get most of the spinalis for the judges to taste. This section here, the eye, is judged mainly for appearance and to make sure that it's cooked right. And that would be based upon a scale that they have to look at it and see, is it at 8, 9, 10, 5, 6, 7, or whatever as far as doneness. So what I'm going to do, this ribeye has, they call this a lip. I'm going to cut off that lip because it's sort of jagged anyway. So I'm going to make a series of cuts to get all of that off. And even though the judges aren't going to taste any of this fat, for appearance, you just want to get it off of there. Then we're going to go along on this side and also trim off a lot of that fat. Now I hesitate to cut off this little section here. And we'll see if I can get that shape so that it is more oval shape and it doesn't sort of stick out like a sore thumb. But I think maybe it's going to have to go. Yeah, that might be better. There we go. I have these skewers which I'm going to use to secure the steak so that during the cooking process it doesn't separate at the fat lines, because this fat's going to render and runs the possibility of separating so that the steak will fall apart. So this keeps its shape. And I'm going to go into select areas where I think it needs the most securing. So we're going to start on this edge. I'm going to push it through to the other side of this DI. Then I'm going to have to put one, I know here, because of that fat. And be careful, I don't want to go all the way through because it's a little long. Three. Four. Then I'm going to go with this butcher's twine, and I'm going to make 2 rows of it. Actually, I'm going to go and we don't want to go too tight because we want the steak to be able to move a little bit as it expands during the cooking. And this is my second piece. I'm going to go underneath the skewers. And I keep the string long so that I'll remember it's there because I'll see it. I'm going to use my sausage prick to tenderize this steak. And it's just a matter of going in and pricking it all over in the areas where the judges will potentially bite. And I'm also going to go into the eye because when they cut this steak, there's a high probability. I'm going to place it in a box so it'll be cut this way, but this part runs the risk of being taste. Though most times the judges are going to pick the cap and not the part just below that fat. The other thing, I'm tenderizing this because we're going to be eating these steaks at home. They're practice steaks, and the choice with not a lot of marbling in them, and I want to make sure that they are tender.